Mm-mm. Nah, udah live. Oke, videonya
udah langsung
dimasuk-masukin.
gitu ya.
Udah otomatis. Nah,
Oke, Maria coba di hold dulu ya. Nanti kalau sudah mulai nanti kamu tolong admit ini ya, teman-teman peserta yang lain. Ini kita lagi uji coba dulu.
Iya, Pak. Siap.
Oke, terima kasih. Udah Mas Rian, di YouTube sudah ada sih.
Bu Eva, di registrasi saya ada 181 sih Bu yang sudah masuk. Oh, Agorlo ada Tarakan, ada Universitas Papua, ada UNIPA, kemudian Brawijaya, Yosi Pratama, Universitas Brawijaya, Unsrat, Samratulangi, Universitas Nasional, UNIPA, UNY, UNG. Cool.
Pak Ibu. Di dalam timeline hanya satu.
Hanya satu.
Timeline ini
Gimana kita mau admitin aja?
Boleh, Bu?
Iya.
Ya Bu, sudah 10 menit video dinyalain terus di-admit gitu. Saya admit ya.
Iya. Maria minta tolong bantu admit ya. Sekalian nanti Maria standby di ini ya, akun YouTube-nya MB. Barangkali ada pertanyaan dari situ nanti bisa dikopas ke Zoom.
Baik, Pak. Pak, saya belum bisa untuk admit. Saya belum ada
Oh,
aksesnya.
sorry. Iya.
Co-host, jadikan co-host.
Udah.
Video on sekarang aja.
Ternyata temboknya itu tembok yang 4. Aduh, tinggi sempak.
Tuh tepi tuh. Sana.
Mr. Faiz and Mr. Eva, due to the convenience, I mute all the participants. Thank you.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. We will start our lecture in about 6 minutes from now. So please, all of you can rename yourself with the name of your institution underscore your name. Thank you very much.
Business Management established in 2011 as one of bachelor programs at Institut Teknologi 10 November, Surabaya. Our department became part of Faculty of Creative Design and Digital Business. Business Management ITS is a unique management major who combines management science with ITS identity as an engineering campus. Students will gain technical skills and soft skills to prepare themselves as future business leaders. There are four major concentrations in business management of ITS, which are operation management and business analytics, marketing and entrepreneurship, human resource management, and also accounting and finance. To familiarize students with real business condition, our department offers some project-based courses such as design thinking, new venture creation, socialpreneurship, business consulting project, internship, and many others. Business Management ITS offers International Undergraduate Program or IUP for both Indonesian and foreign students. Students will get lectures fully in English and greater opportunities to take part in international exposure activities. Our department also offers double degree programs. These particular programs are held in collaboration with the University of Queensland and Wren School of Business. Students will study at ITS and partner universities to get 2 undergraduate degrees. We provide students the opportunities to take international mobility activities such as excursion studies, exchange programs, short course programs, international internships, and many others. Our department will warmly welcome foreign students to experience these international exposure opportunities. To support those activities, Business Management ITS have several international partners. There are 2 laboratories to promote researches at Business Management ITS, which are Business Analytics and Strategy Laboratory and Entrepreneurship and Small Medium Enterprise Laboratory. Business Analytics and Strategy Laboratory, or the BAS Laboratory, focuses on operation management, strategic management, finance, and accounting. There are 10 lecturers and researchers associated with the BAS Laboratory. Business Analytics and Strategy Laboratory have several assistants to support its day-to-day operations. Entrepreneurship and Small Medium Enterprise Laboratory, or the ESME Laboratory, focuses on marketing, entrepreneurship, human resource management, performance measurement, and data envelope analysis. There are 9 lecturers and researchers associated with the ESME Laboratory. The Entrepreneurship and Small Medium Enterprise Laboratory, also supported by several assistants to carry out the laboratory programs. Our department have more than 500 alumni. They work at different fields and industries such as national and multinational companies, government, or even became an entrepreneur.
Let's join Business Management ITS and be the future business leader.
Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
Okay, how are you? Good morning, Bu Eva. Good morning, Dr. Ummi. Dr. Ummi, okay, I think I will be here.
Halo Dr. Ummi.
Okay, so welcome to the lecture that will be delivered by Dr. Eva today. Before we start this event today, I think it is better to start everything with pray. So let's pray together and praying. Okay, that's the end of the praying session. Well, before we start our lecture, I think all of you already curious about how to write the research proposal, yeah? I think most of the students who are joining from Business Management Department ITS, right now they took a course, the research methodology. And maybe some of you from UniMAP Malaysia, some of you also want to do your research in your last semester. Well, of course, it will be interesting to hear directly from Dr. Eva about how to write a good research proposal. Well, before we start this lecture, I would like to invite Dr. Ummi to deliver an opening remark. So, Dr. Ummi, time is yours.
Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everyone. Okay, the Honorable Speaker, Dr. Syarifa Hanoum, the Head of Business Management Department ITS, my respected moderator, Mr. Mushanifun Faiz, am I right? The pronunciation, Mr. Faiz, also from Business Management Department ITS, lecturers, students, and the audience from ITS and UniMAP, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Ummi Naiemah binti Saraih, and I am the course coordinator for BFT 318 Research Methodology of the Faculty of Applied and Human Sciences, University Malaysia Perlis. First of all, my heartiest appreciation goes to the International Office UniMAP and ITS for making this virtual mobility program possible, and thank you for all the students who have volunteered to participate in this program. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the International Joint Lecture, where we are very grateful today to have our honorable guest speaker, Ibu Dr.oec.HSG Syarifa Hanoum, the Head of Business Management Department of Institute Technology 10 November ITS Surabaya. Thank you very much for your tremendous support that your team has provided as a host to this International Joint Lecture. For your kind information, this program is a joint international lecture between UniMAP and ITS, where in last October 29, I was given a great opportunity to share some knowledge on international guest lecture series entitled Job Analysis and Design, HR, Planning, Recruitment and Selection, where Dr. Syarifa Hanoum acted as a moderator for the program. And our today's virtual mobility program is known and is International Joint Lecture, with the title has been selected for this program is Writing My First Research Proposal. And as for today, we are not only have participants among the undergrad students of research methodology course, but we also have a number of participants from the postgraduate students who are now in the stage of completing their Master of Science and PhD degrees in UniMAP. We also have our postdoctoral researcher from Pakistan, Dr. Aminah, who is able to join our session this morning. Thank you for your participating in this important virtual mobility program. Ladies and gentlemen, COVID-19 has changed the way of life. The disease has been reset button that affect not only the life for millions of people, but more importantly, the nature of our work. It has turned our world upside down. It is undeniable that the COVID-19 pandemic has affected almost all sectors around the world, including the social and education disruption. However, if you look at the scene from the positive side, we are now become more proactive to participate in the global education engagement through several initiatives in organizing the online classes, meetings, conferences, workshops, and so forth. And for instance, it had happened across the world where lectures and tutorials have had to move online swiftly, ongoing lab research halted, and enrollment of new students has deferred or delayed. Due to that, I would like to refer also to the many initiatives that has taken place between UniMAP and ITS in conducting several international and online joint programs such as Teen Ideas 2020 program, SDG lecture series, international guest lecture series, and etc. Given that some of the virtual mobility programs which have been implemented is to promise that our universities will not compromise on the educational continuity to all of students from both of university. By definition, virtual mobility involves students or academics participating in activities at other institutions outside their countries without physically attending them. In accordance to that, we are very fortunate to have the support from both of our top management in realizing all of these virtual mobility programs. Ladies and gentlemen, a day like today is very special because we will have our first international joint lecture in research methodology course with the title Writing My First Research Proposal. And the aim of today's lecture is basically about to address on the basic formulation of drafting an early idea in conducting any research project. Thus, this lecture will give you some helpful information and a few insights to ensure for a successful completion in doing your research. I hope that this platform will let you become more creative and at the same time can enhance the level of your criticism skill in writing out your research proposal with additional inputs from our guests and maybe from different angles of view. This program will be proceed with the presentation from our guest, Dr. Syarifa Hanoum, and will be followed by a Q&A session with our guests afterward. Not to further ado, I would like to pass the floor back to our moderators of today's program, Mr. Mushanifun Faiz. Dear Mr. Mushanifun Faiz, the floor is now yours. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Ummi. Well, it is really nice hearing someone that can pronounce my name correctly. Thank you, Dr. Ummi.
Okay.
Okay, so guys, I think all of you now being really curious to see about Dr. Eva presentation. So yeah, because we have really limited time, so please, Dr. Eva, time is yours.
Thank you so much, Faiz. Hello, Dr. Ummi. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, everyone.
Yeah, hi.
Yeah, it's really such a happy feeling to see Dr. Ummi again after a while. I mean, yeah, she has thank you for a wonderful welcoming remark, and then Dr. Ummi has give us overview about the big picture of our collaboration, which is perfectly something that I expected too. Yeah, it was such a great opportunity because it has been started by Dr. Ummi coming to ITS virtually, and then now it's my turn, because that's what collaboration is all about. We're exchanging everything. Hopefully, in the near future, our students can get the exchange program too. Either, I don't know, virtually or even in the real life would be awesome. Maybe next year. Yeah. Okay, let me, please allow me to introduce myself a little bit. So my name is Syarifa Hanoum, but you can call me Eva. That's probably much easier. Now I'm a head of department in Department of Business Management at ITS. So I got my PhD in management, actually management accounting, in University of St. Gallen, Switzerland. So I just finished my PhD 2 years ago, and then when I moved back, and then I got the new appointments as a head of department. And I have been a lecturer actually more than 10 years, 13, 14 probably. So yeah, it's quite a happy time for me. And I think this is where I want to live, in the university with my students. And now ITS got opportunity to have more students from all around the world. Yeah, most of them from Europe, but I hope some students from Malaysia would be with us, and it would be great. It would be happy because we share a lot of things in common, right? Yeah, so now let's get started. So look at me working on my first research proposal. Yeah, I want it, guys, to be a little bit of fun. I don't want you to take this lecture serious, because I know most of you are undergraduate program. So let's try to get a nice start, an easy start, before we are working into more serious stuff in developing a research proposal. Okay, but before we begin, I think, Faiz, what about we take a picture in the beginning, because usually we do that at the end, but what about we do that now so that we can warm up a little bit, you know? What about you turn on your camera? Is that okay, guys? So that I can look at you and Faiz can help me to take a picture. What about we do like this? Look at me writing my first research proposal. What about that? Yeah, let's get some fun warming up. This is morning. Maybe some of you still a little bit sleepy because you stayed late for working on assignment or something like that. Okay, Faiz, can you take a lead?
Okay. Okay, guys. So please, everybody can turn on the camera. So yeah, let's
do this.
Put your best smile and okay. Yeah, of course I cannot do that, yeah, because my hand need to screen capture all of you, yeah.
You
So
need your
one
hands.
Of, yeah.
I
Just one
understand.
of my hand. Okay.
Okay, look at me.
Okay, so everybody still try to turn on the camera. I still waiting all of you. We have about 300 participants today, so I will capture 7 pages in my Zoom, yeah.
Wow, thank you all you guys for coming.
Okay.
Okay, I'm getting tired in my arms now.
Okay, yes, okay. So let's I will count all of you. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. Okay, wait, and then I move to the second page. Okay, so everybody here still turn on the camera. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then now the third page is, okay, wow, it's a lot of you guys. Okay, 1, 2, 3. And then going to the fourth pages, 1, 2, 3. Okay, page 5, 1, 2, 3. And then page 6, 1, 2, 3. Oh my God, a lot of you guys.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and the last page. Okay,
Okay.
and the last page. 1, 2, 3. Okay, yeah, I think it's finished.
Okay, how about now? Do you feel your muscle build up a little bit? Yeah. It's a fun way to start studying about research proposal, right? I tell you, it's gonna be fun. We don't have to be too serious to study about research at all. Okay, let's go back to the business now. Do you see my slide? Faiz, can you tell me if you look at my screen?
Yeah, I think it's crystal clear, Dr. Eva.
Okay, perfect. So look at me working on my first research proposal. Okay, and now I don't know how many of you guys have been working on your research proposal. Have you ever written your research proposal before? Maybe we can ask the floors to, yeah, Faiz.
Okay, guys, so you can put your mobile phone or your laptop, it's okay. So you just go to www.menti.com and input the code 4557886. Yeah, as you can see in your screen. So we want to know actually about your experience in writing research proposal. Okay. Okay, some of answer already. Okay, so 3 answering no. So let's see how many of you that ever write a research proposal here.
No.
Okay, whoa, most of them are no.
Still counting, okay. Only one person say yes, come on. Okay, add up to 4, yeah, I like that. So many people can share their experience. More coming, yeah. Okay, this is so cool, right? Okay, 9, so 10 probably the yes answer coming from postgraduate student from UniMAP maybe. Yeah. Oh, still counting. Yeah. Dr. Ummi, do you know how many postgraduate students are coming here?
I'm not sure because I just shared the link to all of them.
Okay.
And I share with my student, and my students also share with their friends.
Okay, no problem. Okay, okay, guys. For you who said no, that you haven't ever written a research proposal, but I believe you have written a proposal, right? So what kind of proposal that you have written? Can you drop your answer in the chat room so that I know that at least you have an idea what proposal looks like? Can you drop your answer in the chat room?
Okay, so maybe someone can drop the answer in the chat room.
Maybe proposal for events. Oh yeah,
Okay,
event
someone
proposal.
drop it. Okay,
Journal?
journal.
Wow.
Event
That's
proposal, journal, business proposal. Okay.
business proposal, yeah. Okay, business proposal too. Wow, you guys are awesome. You have written business proposal, yeah. What else?
Event proposal. Okay.
On event proposal, no worries. Okay, cool.
Financial support. Okay.
Financial support. Okay. What else? Oh, somebody wrote research proposal. That's great. Maybe you can share a little bit more of your experience later. Yeah. Nobody said marriage proposal. Ugh.
Oh.
Faiz just did that. Oops. Is that a secret? I'm sorry. It's supposed to be a secret, right? Okay. Sponsorship. All right. So I think not many of you guys have written research proposal. No worries that then I feel I'm gonna be useful now because then I can share something for you. Okay, thank you, Faiz. Let's go back to my slides, shall we?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, even you haven't made any research proposal, but I believe you know that sooner or later you will be going to have to, right? That's why you're taking research methodology class, I believe. Some of you, even in the UniMAP, you have to do a kind of, I don't know, undergrad thesis, or what do you call that in UniMAP, Dr. Ummi? Like project, final project, or undergrad thesis, or what? Yeah, maybe.
Okay, for this semester, we offer research method for undergraduate student only for fulfill requirement for research method. But as for previous semester, we did to offer research method in order for them to can comes with one comprehensive final year project. But as for today, they just in the purpose of fulfill the research project that only consists about 40% of the evaluation. Yeah.
Yeah. So in the UniMAP, even undergrad students should do like a research project or a final project, right?
Yeah. Just for the requirement for completing their research method subject.
Okay.
That one only can be accomplished within one semester. Just the basic one.
I see. Okay. Then that just the basic one. This is what we are going to do today. We are going to discuss about the basic thing that you need to know for writing a thesis proposal. Yeah, I call it thesis here, but it can be undergrad thesis. So it should be to carry as postgraduate thesis somehow. So the big picture is the research proposal you write is for the audience, not for yourself. Okay, so that's why you have to write it down based on assumption that the audience need to know the detail of what your project is going to be. So because I have an experience with my student, you know, she was doing a survey-based research, and then she wrote a lot about how she would gather a data, yeah, like what respondent she is going to ask the questions, but then she didn't put like the step on developing questionnaire, yeah, in the proposal. And I asked her, you know, so what are you going to use for the survey research? Yeah, questionnaire, ma'am. And then why didn't you write developing questionnaire then? Yeah, it's obvious, ma'am. Yeah, nothing is obvious if it is not written. Okay, so you really have to, even though you know that this is something, okay, everyone must know, so I don't have to write. No, just leave out that assumption. You have to write by assumption that yeah, the audience, the reader, need to know the details of what you are going to do in your research. Okay, and it's also for your supervisors if you have one, and examiners, because in ITS, if an undergraduate student, they do have to do the undergraduate thesis with under supervision of one senior lecturer, and then they will have to present the research proposal in front of examiners before starting the research project. And then at the end, they have to write down the research report, and then coming into a defense. We call it defense for a final research report. So that's what we are having in ITS. Yeah, so and a research proposal serve dual purposes. So aims for evaluation, you know, because somehow your research proposal will be evaluated. That's a general common sense. Yeah, that's why you develop a proposal. And then the second one is providing an operational plan for you as a researcher. That's why before that, I like you to try to write down the details, because it's actually will be serving as a guidance, as a guideline for you while what is coming to the phase of execution of the project. Every single step, you need to consult to your proposal whether you have completed the whole stages or not. Okay, and then also, this is probably more for postgraduate students, yeah. So it plays a role as a contract between you and your research committee. It depends. The research committee can be your supervisor, can be your thesis supervisor, and examiners or examiners only. So every university got different policy about who plays a role as a research committee. So so it's not only a matter of evaluating you, it also serves you to protect you, yeah, to protect the student for over demanding additional requirement. Because, you know, somehow, for example, supervisor, there are a lot of different kind of supervisor in the entire world or university world. You know, some supervisor really wants to have a head standard, and some of them they're okay and they're still looking at the ability of the students at difference in terms of the level of knowledge and etc. So everything that you have written in the proposal and approved by the committee, it's gonna be like the standard. So nobody can try to go beyond that. So it's really protect you as a student, okay? But it also protects the committee or the university from the poor quality. So it serves like as a quality assurance, yeah, because every university got its own standard of quality that should be met by everyone, by students, by faculty, and so on. Yeah, okay. So the significance of thesis proposal or research proposal is it describes what you intend to study, or we call it scope and research questions. So what do you want to study actually? What field? are you working in? Okay, and why this topic needs to be studied, or we call it significance, the significance of the research. And the timeline when you will complete this work, where you will conduct this work in Kuala Lumpur, in Surabaya, or you want to do like a comparison between Kuala Lumpur, for example, market in Kuala Lumpur and market in Surabaya, for example, or where, because it will influence a lot whether you want to make a survey, for example, in one location or different locations. And how you intend to study your topic, or we call it methodology, that we will talk about it more later. So it's basically using the very old-fashioned 4W and 1H, if you remember. That's really the simple like rule of thumb about you studying something. Yeah, what, why, when, where, how. That's all actually. Okay, now general advice. Yeah, even though it is called research, it is not something scary. It is not. It's not scary at all. Okay, just talk to your advisor. Yeah, this is the problem, ma'am, because my advisor is the scariest one. Yeah, you may end up with a scary advisor, but she or he is still your advisor. You need to always come back to her or him, you know. And think of a proposal as a means of declaring your area of interest and introducing your thesis or a research project to audience. Yeah, because usually, you know, research proposal is made by senior student, undergrad or postgrad. Yeah, at that stage, you have known already your interest, right? For example, in my department, we are having 4 majors or 4 concentration. Yeah, something that you have seen in the video before. We have a financial management, marketing, human resource management, and operations management. Yeah, so once you come up with a proposal in human resource management, for example, everybody knows that is your area of interest, and you won't think of other area like even finance, for example. Okay, so this is a time for you declaring yourself actually. Yeah, especially if you are a postgraduate. Okay, that will be an opportunity to get inputs from your audience to improve your future work. So some students think the proposal is scary because she or he will think that proposal will be judged, will be evaluated, but it actually can be positive too. Because when you have finished your proposal and present it to audience, to the examiner, you will get feedbacks, you know. And then the examiners or the audience, if it is gonna be public presentation, your friends, your colleague, can give their different point of view, maybe something that you've never seen before. Yeah, because that's actually how academic world is working. Yeah, you have an idea, you try to write down your idea and you communicate to your community, and then the community will give you feedbacks. Okay. Yeah, and just talk to your advisor if you have any confusion, you know, because actually advisor, they're gonna be your best friends in working on the research. Yeah, they can be the standard of the quality too, because if you feel that your supervisor is difficult, for example, he set the high standard, actually he or she wants to protect you, your quality of work before coming to the exam. That's actually what he or she wants to try to do to you. Okay, so specific advice. If you come to the point that you have to write a proposal, no other advice, just do it now. You cannot just, oh God, I'm waiting for inspiration from the God. Please tell me, God, what kind of research proposal I need to write. No, it's not God things. Come on, it's your thing. So you really have to start. Even it's just a scratch idea, that's okay, but just do it now. Okay, and it's gonna be a good idea if you establish a writing schedule. For example, if you have to submit your proposal by the end of the end semester, then you start from there and then move backward. And then you will find out what you have to do today or tomorrow. Yeah, and then probably when it comes to the point you have to do the research proposal, this research will occupy your mind all the time, okay? Whenever you go, even you go to shopping mall, you hang out with your friend, it's really like haunting you. So it will be a good idea to keep like a very small notebook, or now you can use your phone, yeah, to write down ideas that can come like every time. So it doesn't have to be you sit at your desk all the time, no, because sometimes the idea comes whenever you don't expect that's coming, right? So instead of forgetting everything, you just write down that small piece of idea, and then one idea followed by others, and then at the end of the day you will have like collections of idea, and then when you come back to your laptop, you can try to structure the whole ideas that have been scattered in your notebook or phone. Yeah, okay, or some of them, they don't like to write down, they like to record your, don't do it. I mean, now we are using a lot of technology, you can do one way or another. Yeah, and then this is the most important thing, make a progress every day, because if you are like living this stuff like a week, maybe it's really hard for you to go back to it. Yeah, so make sure that you make a progress every day, even though just a very little bit of it. Okay, then now I get more confused. Where do we begin? Yeah, okay, this is the format of a research proposal. Okay, maybe some of you that have experience in writing a research proposal can give me an idea, or can give other colleagues idea. What are the challenging part to write according to you, based on your experience? You know, like what sections in the research proposal that you think most challenging? Do you have any idea? Probably postgraduate student can help me with these things. We can talk about it. Is it, well, introduction, literature review, okay. Yeah, you can use more than one. Yeah, but two, okay, literature review. Is that most challenging? Yeah. Methodology, okay. Result and discussion. Managerial implication. Oh, bibliography, really? Somebody finds writing bibliography is most challenging. Timeline, really? Okay, go ahead. Oh, looks like we have 3 sections. That is the most challenging here. Methodology, literature review. All right. Why is it challenging to you? You can drop your answer in the chat room. Why? Why is it challenging? Yeah, okay. Like for example, methodology. Why methodology is challenging? Why literature review? Oh, some people even think that title can be challenging. Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay. So seems like it end up in methodology. Yeah, good. Let's take a look at what we have then. Yeah. Thank you, Faiz. Now I got the insight for you. Thank you, guys. Yeah, so it is methodology, literature review, and result and discussion. Well, this is actually a trap questions, you know, because result and discussion doesn't belong to research proposal. Remember, you're making research proposal before you do the research, okay? So you haven't gotten any result out of it. No result, no discussion, no managerial implication. So it's a trap questions, something about result, discussion, and managerial implication you can save for later for the report. Okay, let's go back to my PowerPoint, can we? Yeah. Let's take a look at a little bit one by one, because some of you say that making a title can be challenging. So yeah, you're right actually. There is some tips to write a title. Yeah. The main thing is the title should be simple but attractive, because that's going to be the first thing that a reader will read on article on a research proposal. Okay, so the title should be inviting. If this is something that people have read every day, of course they won't take their time to even start to read your proposal. So it should be attractive, but it should reflect what is in it. You cannot be focusing on the attraction of the title and then forgetting that it is not related to the content, of course. Yeah, and then some of the tips, avoid unnecessary phrases like study of, research on, investigation. Yeah, everybody know this is the research proposal. So of course, this is going to be something about research. Like, so come to the point. So like, this is the very good example. Instead of saying study of this, you can just start with signal on detection. So this is something attractive too, you know, signal on. Yeah, this is the thing that you can do to give attraction in your title. But avoid acronyms. Yes, try to just put it like SERS. Not everybody know what is SERS, so you need to just say it. What is it about actually? Because sometimes not many people know that topic because they're coming from different research stream or research interest. Okay. And then after that, the second thing that come up after title is abstract. Okay, so abstract is short, yeah, and it consists of actually the overview, brief overview of the proposal. Okay, and then usually it consists of like statement of problem, research question, hypothesis, methods, and procedures. Oh my gosh, it's difficult already. Okay, you know, because this is like a summary of your proposal, probably you think it is overwhelming. So what you can do is just skip the abstract section and then come to the next one, because then you can get back to it later on when you finish the whole proposal. Okay, that's what I do usually. I move on with the next section. Okay, this can be something that you find out in any proposal, because usually in any proposal you like to introduce your reader about what you are what do you want actually by this proposal. Even it's a sponsorship or business proposal, you will give them a little bit of background about what the things in it, right? And the clue is you can use this pyramid, yeah, or triangle standing upside down, because you need to start with something broadly and then narrow the things down. Yeah, starting from a lot of things that reader has known before, and then coming to the end to the point where reader doesn't know, because you need to keep them curious, you know, to keep them reading your proposal. You need to end up with something that reader might have known yet, so that they will keep expecting that you will do the research, and then you come back with the report, and then they will read everything what you have presented in your research report before. Okay, this is for example. Yeah, start from a broad topic of study related to the research problem. Yeah, something about like nowadays many organizations have recognized that human resources play an important role in gaining a competitive advantage in today's, you know, something like that, competitive global business environment. So for the last decade, this is okay, this is something, a general overview about what you are going to say, what research you are going to do. Yeah, because when you say that, now I know that you are a human resource guy like me and Dr. Ummi. We are working in the same field, human resource. Yeah, and not marketing or something else. Okay, and then coming to the second stage, you need to put more about data. So it show them, don't tell them. So use the data, because that's what scientists do. You speak out with the data. Okay, so because data speaks louder, and it's important in research. Okay, so gather all important data. For example, if you say that there is a declining, for example, demand in particular business, instead of saying declining, the demand is declining, you can show them the data, that the declining trends in the figure or graph, because people say one figure can tell 1,000 words. Yeah, and it's very easy to see one figure than reading the whole paragraph, you know. And then consolidate a data plot that they follow a logical sequence, because sometimes you got a lot of data, right? And then it got you overwhelmed. Now this is, you need to come back to your advisor, because she will help you to like a structure the data that you've got, because then you need to pour them into like flowing paragraphs in the section. Yeah. And okay, discuss the figures graph and connect them with the main idea of the paragraphs. So you cannot just put one figure and you don't tell anything about it. Yeah, because it's you need to say it in words. Yeah, your own analysis about the data. For example, if you have the panel data of 10 years showing the declining of something, then discuss it. Why you want to say about the declining trend of something? What is it about in the connection to your research? Yeah, but in constructing a sentence or paragraph, you need to make it like a short, yeah, and remove extra text to make it easily to read, yeah, to make it more readable. So this is a good example. Yeah, all the green text can be removed without changing the meaning of the full fundamental sentence. Yeah, for example, people do not have to know that the previous study conducted in 2014. No, they don't need to know. They just need to know why, what the study is about. Yeah, so that just say it, because the 2014, the 10%, you know, they can see it in the graph that you have put before the paragraph. So all you have to do in the paragraph is just say, why does it matter to your research problem, to the content of the proposal? Okay. So even though you haven't started your research proposal, you haven't done anything in the research project, you need to start gathering the relevant data about it. Yeah, okay. And then it should end up with hypothesis, research questions, or research objective. Yeah, for postgraduate students, hypothesis and research questions are very familiar to them, but for undergraduate, probably it's easier to just say research objective. Okay, objective of research. So this is just a simple example. The objective of this study is to investigate the association of like human resource policy and the competitive advantage of the automotive industry. Yeah, for example, like that. Yeah, so a general introduction, and then speak with data, and then end up with research objective. That's actually what you need to do. All you need to do in introduction. Simple, right? Yeah, it's just simple. And then we can move on to literature review. Yeah, so this is the second chapter. So the introduction is mainly about empirical context related to the research problem, but literature review is the your judgment to solve the problem mentioned in the introduction from the like scientific point of view, from the theoretical point of view. That's what you're gonna put in the literature review. It's going to be good to use the funnel shape hint as well, starting from reader, something that reader knows, and end up with the reader that not all reader knows. Yeah, for example, if we talk about the HR role in workforce health, productivity, and resilience, for example, that's the title of my research proposal. Okay, so you can start with something about human resource management, you know, in general, what's the field is all about, what subtopics are in the field of human resource management. And then you can narrow it down into, for example, human resource management in healthcare, because HRM will be applied differently in different industries. So healthcare can offer like unique shape of human resource management practices. So that's why you need to be a little bit more specific talking about human resource management in healthcare. Yeah, you can do similar way, for example, marketing in automotive industry, for example, or finance in small, medium enterprises. Yeah, you can name it. And then you can end up with something that would relate to a gap analysis. So it's actually go back to the title, yeah, HR role in workforce health. But what kind of a workforce health that you are talking here in your research project? In here, I'd like to talk about productivity and resilience. So it's become more specific when it comes to the end of the section. Okay. Yeah. And now is methodology. Do we need to make a break to give like opportunity for the floor to give question or something, Faiz? Do I move too fast or what do you think? Shall I finish?
Yeah, I think we still have 6 minutes, but there is one, I think, students maybe from UniMAP that already raising a hand. Maybe we can give the mic to her, Dr. Eva. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so please, Mita, time is yours. Maybe you want to deliver the questions directly.
Hi, Nita. Hi, Nita, you have something to ask?
Yeah, hi Mita, you raised your hand. Maybe you have a questions for Dr. Eva.
Or maybe she will keep it for later. She's not ready yet, maybe.
Okay, yeah. What about the others? Maybe some of you have a questions
about the introduction and then literature review. Maybe while thinking, you can drop your question in the chat room. Yeah, some of our team also monitoring the chat room in our YouTube channel, I believe. So yeah. What do you think? Shall I go back to my screen?
Okay, then maybe you can go back to Trevor.
Yeah.
While we're still waiting.
While we're waiting for questions, yeah?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Faiz. Yeah, so I go on with methodology. Okay. Yeah, methodology is actually about the steps that you are going to do in your research project. Yeah, my advice would be please break it down into some stages. Yeah, for example, because we are social science people, yeah, our research, for example, it's a survey-based research, will be including designing a questionnaire, selection of participants, pilot survey, interview process, and so on. Yeah, so just break down the whole methodology into some steps that more manageable for you. Okay, and then also please don't forget to describe the specific methods of data collections. For example, you are going to do a survey, but what kind of survey? This is what kind of questionnaire are you using, like open or closed questions? If it is interview, what kind of interview, structure or non-structure? Or maybe you are going to use like experiments or observation. So you need to mention it, yeah, specifically in every single step of your methodology. Okay, and then also explain about how you would analyze and interpret the result of your study. Yeah, okay, you do the survey, you get the data, and then you come back to your desk. And then what kind of tools are you going to use to analyze your data? Is it a statistical tool or others? Okay. And yeah, anticipate some of a concern. What kind of problems that you anticipate will come up? For example, if the survey will be to the difficult respondent, for example, if we are surveying healthcare, workforce healthcare, just like our example before. Now, researching healthcare is a kind of tricky, right, in this moment of pandemic. So that can be a problem too. So you have to address, you have to acknowledge what's problem, what potential problem that may come up, and then how you would address it. Okay. Yeah, this is you can also use a flow chart in the methodology section, because you know all things about figures will be more readable than text. So you can see this is a very simple flow chart that one can use. Yeah, it depends on what kind of methodology that you're going to do in your research. The simple your methodology, the simple flowchart will be. Okay, this is the single case study process. So the flowchart just look like the straight line, but if the stages in your research are more complex, yeah, the flowchart will look like this, will look like more complicated accordingly. Yeah, but by looking at this flowchart, the audience, like the examiners or your supervisors or your colleague, can see how many steps you are going to execute in your research, whether the steps are going in a serious manner, or you can do in the simultaneously action. So you can do all together at the same times, or one stage should come first because the output of stage 1 will be the input of stage 2, or how. Yeah, you can explain the order, yeah, of the steps here in the flowchart. Okay, I see that some of the students have raised their hand. Can we go back to them, Faiz? Faiz, you still have your microphone mute.
Okay, sorry. So we have two questions here, Dr. Eva. So the first question is from Budis Uni. Okay, from Siti Norakillah binti Rahman. Okay, there is two questions. So first, maybe Dr. Eva, you will answer the question one by one. So the first question, does literature review in research proposal consist independent and dependent variable? How to help us determining the approach in collecting our data, either using questionnaire or interview?
Oh, okay. Is it in the chat room?
Yeah, that's in the chat room.
Okay. I cannot see it. Which one? Okay.
Oh, sorry. This is actually he sent me privately, so I will repost
Oh,
it again.
somebody reach you out privately. Wow. That's no, I'm kidding. Dr. Ummi, please help me for answering the question. It's kind of tough ones from your students. So, which one? For it?
Yeah, the last one. Does literature review in research proposal consist independent and dependent variable?
Okay, how to help us determining approach in collecting our data, either using questionnaire. This is some questions actually. Okay, I will start with consists of independent and dependent variable. Yeah. In the case of what we call it this, like confirmatory research, yeah, that involves independent and dependent variables, you need to study each of the variables, okay, because you need to give an evidence that those variables have been never researched before in terms of the model that you're offering in the later section in the methodology. So if for example, okay, like productivity, for example, I go back to the previous example, yeah, productivity of workforce in healthcare. Okay, so you need to discuss in the literature review how far previous researcher has been researching productivity in healthcare. That's an example. So, and then you have to prove the audience that the angle, the point of view that you are going to deliver in the proposal is something else, something that haven't done before. Okay, so that's the point of having literature review about independent and dependent variables. Okay, and then the second one, how to help us determining the approach in collecting our data, either using questionnaire or interview. Well, actually, questionnaire is just a for you your guidance, right, to speak with your respondent with your object of survey. So it can be like using, you can just read it. We call it structure interview. Yeah, because in structure interview you have a guideline, what sort of questions to be asked, yeah, to the subject matter expert, for example, the respondent of the research. Or you can just deliver the questionnaire online, for example, or a paper-based. So questionnaires is one thing, and then interview is something else. Yeah, questionnaire is something that become your guideline. Interview is how you deliver the questionnaire using interview or online or whatever. Okay. Yeah, I think that's all. I addressed it all. And then what else? How to I think we have something. Oh, this is tough one. Maybe
Yeah,
Dr. Ummi more experience in doing research in pandemic. Unfortunately, I've never done that because this is my first pandemic. Actually, I myself made a research proposal about this, but it hasn't been approved yet. I was planning to do it next year. So I cannot scroll up twice. Okay, now I get this.
Okay,
How to, oh no, not
how
this.
to help us determining the approach in collecting our data, either using questionnaire or interview. Yeah, I think this you already answered that. So in this situation of COVID-19 pandemic, was it the best method to collect our data, especially when we only have about 4 months to complete our research project?
Oh, Dr. Ummi, please help me. What we do here, you know, our students in ITS like facing this circumstances, of course, for now, because you know, in our curriculum we need to do that, the undergrad thesis. Yeah, so what we advise to them is doing it online. Yeah, because we are not our rector, our president university say big no to sending students to the field for study. So that's what they are doing. What about there in UniMAP, Dr. Ummi?
Yes, I also suggested them and advised them to do all of the questionnaire or interview online. But at the moment, as for this batch of students, since they have the limited time to fulfill their study, to complete their study, and then I only ask them to just rely on the questionnaire type of collecting the data, because normally interview will take longer time, especially in terms of the analysis of the data. Therefore, I would suggest all of my students only to follow the questionnaire types of doing or collecting their data, because it quite quite structured and easy in the stage of analyzing the data.
Yeah, I agree. Questionnaire to really help us to provide a structure, and logical flow in our research. Do we still have some other question? Thank you, Dr. Ummi, for helping me. But it's still, there is still
So there's one more questions from Tasya Arihul from ITS. How to analyze the qualitative data without visiting the research object? Is it possible if we don't visiting the research object? For example, tourism place or mall.
Shopping mall. Oh, I believe you like to visit shopping mall.
Of course. No, I'm afraid to go there. Now it's a COVID situation.
Yeah, me too. I've never been going to shopping mall after the COVID.
But online shopping mall, of course, I open it every day.
Online,
we have a lot of discounts right now.
Yeah, you know, the thing is, for qualitative research, that's a bit tricky, okay, because qualitative research usually require the researcher involved, in the research process, and qualitative usually more exploratory, so it's a little bit tricky, to make like a questionnaire as a guidance, because nothing to guide us, because you know, in a exploratory fashion, this done under assumption that we know nothing about the object of the research, right? So it's a little bit tricky, but I think the key is how good you have an access to the object. For example, if you want to research about the startup, the startup in your, probably you can start with startup or small business in your city, or you can use network from your parents or your supervisors, and then try to contact them. If you can have a good introduction to the director or owner of the startup company, and then they are willing to help you, even answering questions from online or a phone call, that would be great. That would be great. Yeah, so that you don't have to literally visit the research object. That's what you need to do. How good you are for having access to the research object. Yeah. Oh, there are a lot of questions. In what year that the data should be provided in the introduction section in order to support our study? Wow, that's really...
Yeah. Okay. Thank you. I think all of them already.
Yeah, that's really we cannot say what year. Okay, it's really relative. It depends on what you are going to investigate. Yeah, some of research can use like 10 years panel data to give like better overview about the trends. But it really depends. If you are looking at, like, for example, performance appraisal of individual employee, yeah, you can take like monthly, because we are doing performance appraisal every month, for example. So nothing certain about the time frame. It's really depend on the topic of the research. Yeah, what else? Oh, somebody raised their hand, Mita. Would you like to ask the question in person, Mita?
Yeah. Yeah, I think this is the same Mita.
Oh,
okay, now she already not raised the hand. Okay.
So no, her question has been...
Okay, so I think... Yeah, I think he refused. She refused to us. Okay, Dr. Eva. So we still have some more questions here. Okay, so this is from Ivan Wong. How many respondent minimums that we need to have to support our study?
Okay, Dr. Ummi, you like to take this?
Okay, thanks, Dr. Eva. I try, okay? Okay, according to my understanding, okay, actually I am the quantitative type of person. Therefore, my research is more on focusing the explanatory study. That's why I always highlight of them to determine what is the independent variable, dependent variable, moderating and mediating variables. Maybe that's one of the question appeared just now regarding the IV and DV. And as for me, since we are using the quantitative type and approach of survey, we normally will refer to the Krejci and Morgan table as cited by Umar and Sekaran. So the number of respondent, the minimum sample of the respondent should be based on the population of the total respondent. So that is the answer that always I share with most of my students. Even though if we are using SPSS, the 20 respondents is enough for us to analyzing the data. But I think they should go to the very conventional method by looking at the table of Krejci and Morgan in order to determine the minimum size of sample. Is that answer?
Yeah,
is that okay with you, Dr. Eva?
I believe so. It's super answering perfectly. Thank you, Dr. Ummi. Yeah, I saw somebody raise his hand.
Okay. No, I think we go to the questions in the chat room first, Dr. Eva, because they comes first. when
Okay,
asking
so
questions.
so you want him to keep raising his hand like this?
No, it's
Okay,
just
keep
raising
warming
hand
up.
virtually.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is the questions from Izati from UniMAP. What is the suggested way, the most effective method to do questionnaire?
The most effective method
Uh,
to
I think
develop
maybe
questionnaire.
yeah, maybe what type of questionnaires that usually can be more effective to collect the data? Maybe that's the meaning of the question.
Well, it depends. Yeah, nothing most effective for everything. We really have to take a look at. Dr. Ummi, you like to take this as well, since you are a quantitative person. You work with questionnaire a lot.
Okay, okay. As to my opinion, maybe we cannot confirm, okay, reassure or assure that this is the good, effective until we have complete collecting the data and analyze the data. But what we can do is only to find the established questionnaire which has been adapted or adopted from the past author. And after that, we need to go very carefully on all of the items in those scale of questionnaire and do some validation of questionnaire before we need to go to the reliability, the validation of the item one by one item. Either all of the item is very suitable to be asked to our targeted respondent. We need to be very careful in terms of identifying each of the item. Maybe we can find two questionnaire from two different authors. Then we need to find the most suitable one that are related with our context of the respondent. That is how I always advise my student to fulfill. And do you agree with me, Dr.
Yeah,
Eva,
yeah,
regarding the
yeah. Thank
questionnaire?
you, Dr. Ummi.
Because I always, since they are the undergraduate student, they are not allowed to develop their own questionnaire because it will take more time to validate and make sure that the item is reliable to be asked. That's why I always ask them to gain or obtain the established questionnaire from the past researcher.
Yeah, true. But sometimes it's tricky. We cannot find all of those all the time in the article, right? Because sometimes they just hide the questionnaire, hide the detail, and then come up with the end. Yeah, the final result. Yeah, sometimes it's tricky to do.
Maybe that's why that teach us to be the investigator, to go and find the email of that author and try to find the author from which
Yeah.
university that he or she come from and try to email with a nice word to ask permission to get the questionnaire.
Yeah, right, Dr. Ummi. So research is about actually exercising the whole thing, right? Not only knowledge, not only written things, but it's also communication. Try to communicate with our peer, not only national
Yeah.
but
It
international.
also teach us to have a very stable emotional to
Also,
to ensure that we can complete chapter by chapter. We need to
yeah.
have a very strong character in order to complete all of the research, right?
Yeah, you're right. That's a good note. I've never thought about it. It teaches us emotionally to wow. See, it's so fun to learn about research, right? Yeah, thanks, Dr. Ummi. Do we still have some more questions or shall I go on, Faiz?
Yeah, that's there is a question. So she directly messaged to me because she will deliver the questions in Indonesia.
Oh,
So
okay.
yeah, I will try to help her to translate it.
He
So
gets a lot of
sometimes
fans.
yeah, so sometimes the students do the research by using the data from the respondent, but the problem is sometimes if this survey research, some respondent is not really honest when they when they filling the questionnaire. So how to make them feel that with the honest? That's really a nice question actually. Yeah.
Yeah, also tricky.
Yeah.
You cannot really demand them to be honest. Yeah. How would you tackle that? I would like to hear from Dr. Ummi because I'm struggling with that too, to be honest.
Yeah, maybe there is some actions after we collect the data, and then we will see the data. Okay, so this data maybe can be categorized as dishonest data,
Maybe you
or
have to
I don't know if
ask
you
them
have some
out for a
tricks.
coffee. Ask them out for a coffee to make them honest. Dr. Ummi.
Okay, as for me, I believe that we can control the honesty of others. But what we can do is to provide a very good platform, maybe in the aspect of us as the researcher. By the time we are collecting the data, by the time we are developing the questionnaire, we give some sort like a cover letter or the brief information before we start with our questionnaire. And that part, we can put one statement. One statement maybe, please answer this question with your honesty. That's only that we can do in our part, because we cannot control the others' honesty. We only can highlight it on them to provide their answer in the most honest way.
Yeah.
I think that's all. That is from me. We cannot control the honesty of them.
Yeah, true. Very true. Okay, shall I go back to my slide a little bit, and then we can again go back to the question.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So last time, remember we talked about how we can break down the steps in a methodology into some stages. Okay, this is just an example how to proceed with it. For example, yeah, the research plan will proceed in two phases. So the first phase, I will do this. The second phase, I will do that. But actually, if you write the proposal in English, this example is not quite beautiful one. You can do better with using a dummy subject. So like the one below here. So you treat the face as is it is you. So for example, instead of saying I will do this, yeah, you can say the first phase represents this, a selection of that. The second phase consists of this. Okay, because sometimes the way you write in your language and English is a bit different. Okay, and okay, the next is time or plan of work. Some people think that this can be challenging too, but it really can help you to, I don't know, help you to organize your research project. So some things to keep in mind: consult your advisor, yeah, about the deadline of the submission, for example. Yeah, be aware of important dates for submitting and defending dissertation or thesis or undergrad final project. To not be overly ambitious, because sometimes when you get started to do a research project, you feel like you need to do it more and more. You feel like it's not looking good, it's not looking sufficient, you need to fix it. But just go back to the timeline. I think that's the right way to do, because perfection never been there. You never be perfect. So the time you have to stop is the time when you have to submit your research proposal. Okay, remember that your proposed timeline demonstrates your awareness of the various elements of the study. For example, if you have to do a lot of things in execution of your project, so you really need to consider everything. Okay, bibliography, it's actually the list of references, including a working bibliography, key tags in your proposal. You cannot miss in citing all the article that you have been referring to for your proposal. So you really have to collect everything in the reference list. Okay, this is the good things. The important things in writing research proposal is about plagiarism. So what is it actually? Because this is super dangerous. When you fall into this case, you will never be trusted. So this is really a dangerous thing, okay? This is really important because plagiarism is about the act of presenting another work or ideas as your own. So what about if I cite, because ma'am, you said we really have to come back to literature, to article, seeking consultation to previous research and such. Yeah, of course you can do that, but always identify the source immediately after mention it, not the end of the paragraph, because people then will know which sentence that you refer from somebody else, which sentence is your own. And the most safest way is to do the paraphrasing. Yeah, this is actually the safest way because you're not going to fall into plagiarism. What is paraphrasing actually? I'm stuck in my slide. Let me get out of this first and then go back to you. Paraphrasing is actually after reading a text or a line from article, you would like to make it your own sentence without missing the essence of the sentence. Okay, for example, something, this is a direct quote from an article, what you read literally in the article. But you see, when you try to paraphrase it, it come up totally different. So in this way, you are going to be really safe. Okay, so just try your best to put your own words. Yeah, especially if you are working in English. Yeah, because if you are working in Bahasa Indonesia, of course it's maybe you can just translate it. But working in English research proposal, you need to be really careful because plagiarism can be checked easily. Okay, this is another. You can take a look at yourself later because I will, Faiz, maybe you can help me to share the PDF file of the presentation. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Finish. You did it. That's all, actually. Okay. Back to you, Faiz.
Okay, so actually we still have questions, Bu Eva, or we're
Okay.
gonna end this session?
I don't know. I have to ask Dr. Ummi, do we still have time or actually we ran over the time?
It up to you. It up to you. Maybe can open for last of question from any student or one question from ITS and another one from UniMAP. It depends on you.
Yeah, let's do that. Probably give a chance to the
Okay,
one who
so
raised.
one is already risen, Joshua Hasiholan. Okay, maybe you can,
Hi,
yeah.
Joshua.
Hi, ma'am. Thank you for this opportunity. My name is Joshua Shalamunte. I am from Business Management ITS. So I have a question. In the research methodology course, we have a project to make our own research proposal. In the part 3, in the methodology done in the introduction and literature review. So my question is, how do I determine the question presenting is variable and how many questions for each variable to get a good result? Thank you.
Sorry, can you go on? Can you repeat? How many variable? What is your question again?
So much variable and how many questions for each variable to get a good result.
How many questions? Research questions, you mean?
No, the question for our questionnaire for representing is variable. I mean.
Well, actually, one variable, if maybe Dr. Ummi can help me, one variable can be can have like some, what do you call that, indicators or sub variables. So it depends on how many sub variables does that variable have. So that's and the sub variables you have to consult to the previous literature. For example, like resilience in healthcare. Many people talk about resilience in healthcare already, but they have different definition in resilience. So you need to be specific what definition of resilience are you using, and then you come further with that. Yeah. Dr. Ummi, do you have something to add maybe to help Joshua?
Okay, and to my perspective, okay, the number of items for each variables should be based on the established variables. But after you already obtain the established variable, first and foremost, before you do your final collection of your data, you need to do a pilot test. Where in pilot test, you will test on two aspects. The first one is on the validity to look on the validity of the questionnaire, the items, whether it is valid to be asked to your context of study or not, to your context of respondent. And the second one, you need to run the reliability analysis in order to ensure that the value of Chromebook Alpha is reached at the acceptable percentage. Okay, as for me, if you can fulfill these two indications, then you will have no problem. Either your item is many item or you have a small number of item, because in the procedure you have fulfilled what is required for you to do before you start collecting your actual data.
Yeah, thank you, Dr. Ummi. I think it addressed really well. Let's try to talk with someone in Malaysia. I want to hear from someone from UniMAP, please.
Okay, there is two questions there from UniMAP, from Suba and Fenota, but maybe you wanna deliver the questions directly? Or the others maybe from UniMAP. I will give you a chance to speak directly to Dr. Eva.
Yeah, maybe, yeah. Okay.
Okay, so Fenota or Suba or the others maybe? Okay, it seems they are too shy.
My supervisor that my idea is acceptable. Ooh, I could take her out for a coffee. That's how you can persuade the supervisor. No, I'm kidding. Maybe Dr. Ummi doesn't drink coffee either. So you need to know what your professor like. No, I'm kidding. I mean, it's not fully kidding. Actually, it can be good too, because supervisor is a human, so sometimes personal touch is needed. As Dr. Ummi said, you know, this is how you communicate with her or him. Because if you got him pissed off, then maybe he would try to prolong your process. I don't know. It happened to me when I had my PhD. So yeah, so you know, guys, it's really interesting actually, the research stage, because as Dr. Ummi said, I agree with that. It's really an exercise of everything, not only a knowledge, experience. What do you say about the emotion, right, Dr. Ummi? Yeah, that's perfect. Emotion. Also personal skill that also needed, communication skill. Yeah, because it's really fun. It will be fun. Just wait until you get there. How to identify and come up with a better independent variable and dependent variable. Yeah. I think you need to go back to the literature. Yeah, you need to read as many articles as possible. Thank you very much. Oh, that's not a question. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Okay. I think we got it all. Faiz.
Okay. Okay, yeah. I think we already run out of time, guys. So thank you very much. Before we end, yeah, I think we already take the photo, yeah. So we don't need to take the photo again. Okay, so thank you very much, guys. And okay, Dr. Ummi, maybe you have something to say before we end this session.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Mushanifun Faiz, for the smooth run of the Q&A session. Okay, I don't expect that most of them like to throw out quite so many questions for us in this session, because normally in my class there are very few of them that would like to raise your hand and throw any question. And thank you also, Dr. Syarifa Hanoum, for the informative lecture that has been well delivered. And mind if you can share your lecture slide, then I can forward to all of my students. And it is a very great pleasure. We have a very fruitful discussion, even though I think 1.5, maybe we have 2 hours, 1.5 hours lecture may not enough to cover all of these interesting inputs. And I strongly believe that all of our students now can gain wonderful knowledge and will be more committed to write their research proposals right from now and on. Last but not least, I would like to highlight on my high appreciation to our speaker, Dr. Syarifa Hanoum. It is so great to have you here today with us. Thank you for your time and attention. I'm hoping that continual collaboration will not end here, and inshallah we will keep up our collaboration in conducting the next joint lecture programs if we have any opportunities in the near future. And finally, on behalf of the Faculty of Applied and Human Sciences, UniMAP, I would like to express my appreciation to all of the participants for making time out of your busy routine to attend this program. And thank you again to all ITS team for the assistance in hosting this program, because we are not subscribing Zoom in our university. And before we end our session, I would like to close my remark and wishing the future prosperity to all of the participants of today's International Joint Lecture Program. May I once again express our appreciation to all of you, our guests and audience, for supporting this program and for attendance this morning. Now we already arrived at afternoon now. I hope this collaboration will expand widely in the near future. Stay positive, stay healthy, stay safe. Thank you. And Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Any final word from you, Dr. Eva and Mr. Faiz?
Yeah, thank you so much, Dr. Mi. I'm looking forward to our future collaborations. And thank you for you guys. All you're just wonderful today. Thank you so much for the participation. Faiz?
Okay, yeah. So thank you, Dr. Ummi. Thank you, Dr. Eva. That's the end of the session, guys. So thank you very much. Let's just always pray that this pandemic will be end soon. So maybe someday from Malaysia can visit us in the business management in test and vice versa. Okay, thank you very much. So on behalf of the SD moderator of this session, I'm Sonifun Faiz. Thank you, really say thank you very much to all of you. And good afternoon. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, guys. See you soon.